Hello! Okay, so the purpose of this video is to help you guys out with lists. So the reason why I decided to add this in as of 2023 is because I've had a lot of students kind of struggle in general with the list pseudocode on the AP exam. Keep in mind that this Python is a little bit different because indexes in Python are going to start at 0, whereas on the AP exam and Scratch, the indexes start at 1 instead. But the general idea is kind of the same. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna in the Google form you're gonna see a whole bunch of different algorithms, and I'm just gonna ask you just kind of see if you guys are understanding what's happening. So these are more concrete examples, I guess, rather than just going straight from scratch and then just giving you pseudocode. And that's where think some students got lost in previous years. So hopefully this might help some of you. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this here. So it's going to be in the Google form. So the format's going to look a little bit different. But you're just going to take whatever you see in the Google form, Control C or however you want to do it, and then Control V when you type it into a Python compiler. So just going to type in Python compiler. And then I just click on this one here. I believe I have it linked for you. So all you gotta do is Control V. So just Control V. And then you press run on top here. So as you can see, what happens is this line of code prints out the whole list. So apple, banana, cherry. And what append does is it adds the text orange to the end of the list. So that's why when the list of fruits is printed again, it has orange at the end of the list. Now I could change this to anything I wanted to. Let's say instead of this, I want it to say papaya. Yeah. So then all I gotta do is press run, and then when I run this, it's gonna say papaya instead of orange. Okay. So in general, that's how the append works. Pretty straightforward. Okay. Next one that I'm going to show you is how remove works. Okay, so remove is a little bit different in Python compared to, I guess, the AP exam pseudocode, but this is how you can remove specific indexes in a list. So as you can see here, so let's say I go ahead and run this. Okay, so this line of code here produces this, right? So it's the list of fruits are produced apple, banana, cherry. And then what happens is the first index of this list, so again, this is going to be index 0 in Python, this is index 1, and this is index 2. But then keep in mind it's 1, 2, and 3 for the AP exam. But anyway, the first index in Python in this case would be banana. So what pop does in this case is it removes the first index, so basically the second item in the list, and then what happens is it produces an output, and that would be apple, cherry. Okay. Now you might wonder what happens if I change this to a 2. If I change this to a 2 here, and you guys can experiment with this as well, what happens is cherry's going to disappear, and then apple, banana is shown. Yeah. If I change this to 0, this means it's accessing the first element in the list. Yeah. So in this case, apple is deleted, and then it just says banana, cherry, just like that. Okay. That's in general how the remove works. Okay. Insert. Okay, I'm just gonna copy paste some of these things here. Oh yeah, and with this site, sometimes you get some ads. Yeah, the ads are not very nice, I guess. Sometimes you might see something that looks like Arabic or something. You just click the white button, and then it you should be able to get out of it. I don't know what the blue button does, but just don't click on that. But anyway, that's if you run into an ad. So here, what we have here is it's gonna produce our list of fruits. So fruits are apple, banana, cherry. And then what we have is we're going to insert orange at the first index. So it's gonna, in this case, it's gonna be between apple and banana, right? This is index 0, so then it's inputted right here. So it says apple, orange, banana, cherry, right? Let's say I change this to 0, then what happens is it gets inserted at the front of the list. Change this to a 2, and then what happens is it's going to, let's see, whoops. So as you can see here, it inserts it with 0, 1. It's going to be between 1 and 2. So then orange is inserted there. And this would be the second index. Okay? So that's basically how insert works. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a few more algorithms here. So let's see. We have this one. I'm just going to go ahead and Control C. And then, oh, this is what I was talking about. Yeah, so then if you run into this weird thing, just press this white button and you get out of it. Yeah. Okay, so if I go ahead and run this, so I can just show you. Okay, so what this line of code does is it's going to print the list of cars, so Ford, BMW, Volvo, Honda, Toyota, and then it displays the numerical value of the length of the cars in the list. So basically what it does is it's counting the number of elements in the list. So basically there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements in the list. So that means the length is displayed as 5. Okay. So if I change this here, you know, like let's say I decided to add like maybe a Kia or something. So if I run this, then it gets updated, the list gets updated, and the length of the list becomes 6 because there are 6 elements in the list. Now, if I go ahead and change this, then the length of the list becomes 4, and the list of cars gets updated as well. Okay, so that's how the length works. Okay, so let's say I wanted to, copy this here, and then I run this. Okay. So what happens now is you're trying to access certain elements in the list. Okay. So for example here, what this does is it looks at the list of cars, it takes the first element, so otherwise the 0 index. So the 0 index in this case is going to be Ford. So first car is equal to Ford, and that's why you're printing the first car. In this case is Ford. Now if I change this, let's say I wanted to access the first element, then the first element becomes BMW, and I run this. So maybe a better choice for the variable, instead of making it the first car, you could label this variable as second car or something, right? And then the program still works as intended. Yeah, you could change this, you know, like let's say you wanted the second index, then it's going to say Volvo. If you wanted the third index, then you're going to say Honda. So you can play around with that as needed. Okay. Now there's one more algorithm that I want to show you, and that's if you wanted to change certain elements in the list. So let's see. Okay. So running this. So what happens in this first line here is it's going to print the list of cars: Ford, BMW, Volvo, Honda. And then what happens here is the first index, so the first index, which is BMW, is going to be replaced with the 0 index. And the 0 index is Ford. Okay. So what happens is basically this produces what you see there. Now, if I change this, right? Let's say I change this to a 2, and then this is 0. So what happens is we're looking at the second index. So the second index here is Volvo, and that's going to be replaced with Ford. So it's going to say Ford, BMW, Ford, Honda. Ford, BMW, Ford, Honda. And then let's say I just change it. Let's say I change this to a 1. And let's say I change this to a 3. And you can play around with the numbers if you need to. Just if you wanted to, just try it from 0 to 3. That's what I recommend. But in this case here, you're looking at the first index, which is BMW, and then that's going to get replaced with the third index, Honda. So it's going to say Ford, Honda, Volvo, Honda. Ford, Honda, Volvo, Honda, just like that. One more time if you need to see it. I'm going to change this to a 3 this time. Change this to a 2. Okay. So what we have here is we're looking at the third index. The third index is Honda. And basically what's happening is we're going to replace that with the second index. So it's going to say Ford, BMW, Volvo, Volvo. So let's see. Yep, Ford, BMW, Volvo, Volvo. All right, and there is your summary. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.